Welcome to the Doubles Only Tennis Podcast, where you learn the best doubles strategies to improve your game and win more matches. I'm your host, Will Bocek. This podcast, my website, and my weekly newsletter all focus on the goal of better understanding the sport of doubles and helping players like you improve faster through actionable advice that you can use in your very next match. My goal is to provide the best doubles strategy resources in the world. And to do that, I study, analyze, and work with players at every level of the game, all the way up to the ATP and WTA tours. If you enjoy this podcast, I've created doubles strategy products that go even deeper if you want to take your doubles knowledge to the next level. At the end of this episode, I'll explain more about them, or if you want to learn more now, go to thetennistribe.com/products. Here's today's episode. This is another conversation from Indian Wells, this time with Demi Schuurs and Asia Muhammad. At the time of me recording this intro, they have won their quarterfinal match and they're into the semifinals, which they'll be playing a little bit later today. Now, by the time you hear this, you're going to know how they fared in the tournament overall, whether they lost in the semis, made the finals, or even won the whole title. I talked to them after their second round win before their quarterfinal match on their off day. We had about 15 or 20 minutes before practice. These players are so busy, so it's really generous of them to, especially while they're still in the tournament, be able to sit down with me and have these conversations. So I talked with them just before practice. We talked about their first two wins. In the first round, they beat Sarah Errani and Jasmine Paolini, who are the number 3 seeds at Indian Wells, and they beat them 6-4, 6-0. So a pretty significant victory there. And we talked about what led to such a good scoreline against a team that's been one of the top 3 teams or so on tour over the last year. So that was a really big win for them. In the second round, they also won in straight sets. They're really playing well. And then after this conversation in the quarterfinals, they won in straight sets against another good team. So we'll see how they do a little bit later today and throughout the rest of the tournament. But we talk about their wins. We talk about the partnership. They played together last year in Tokyo and then have played together throughout this season so far. I asked Demi what makes Asia a good doubles partner. We talked about Asia focusing more on doubles over the last year. I remember chatting with her at Indian Wells a year ago about the transition from singles to doubles. So she talks a little bit about what that's been like. And then I also asked Demi about the mixed doubles changes at the US Open. She has a pretty funny response to this. So you're going to hear a brief conversation between these two. And learn a little bit about the partnership as well as kind of what's clicking right now for them. So this is a fun little chat before their quarterfinal match at Indian Wells. So without further delay, enjoy this interview with Demi Schuurs and Asia Muhammad. Hey everybody, welcome to the show today. We have Demi Schuurs and Asia Muhammad. Welcome, y'all.
Thanks for having us.
So I've had both of you on, but Asia, it's been a while. It was back in 2022, 21 maybe?
Maybe. Was it during World Team Tennis?
It was during World Team Tennis.
Yeah.
At the Miramonte Resort. We had a long conversation there. We're back here in Indian Wells, this time at the BNP Paribas Open. And y'all are into the quarterfinals. Talk about the 2 wins so far and kind of how the week's been going.
I mean, we had a really good win first round. We beat the 3 seeds, Paolini and Errani. It was tough conditions. It was really cold. We waited a while to play, and going out and after waiting the whole day is tough. We came out and we played really well. I'd say we played a pretty clean match. We did a good job just beforehand, really wanting to focus on us. We obviously had some tactics, but we knew we needed to really focus on our part of the court first. And I think we did that really successfully.
They're a team. I meant to look this up earlier, but I didn't have time. I would guess that might be their most lopsided loss in the last year. They've definitely been one of the best teams over the last year, right? Winning the Olympics. They've had 2 major finals, I believe.
Did they win Beijing and Doha?
Yeah, maybe.
Doha. Did they win Beijing? I can't remember.
I don't remember, but they've definitely been
Yeah,
they've definitely
Doha
been
for
one
sure.
of the top like 3 teams, I would say, over the
consistently,
last
for
year.
Sure. Yeah, they've been playing really well.
So a really impressive win in that first round. Is there something, you mentioned the conditions, you played a clean match. Is there something specific that you feel like clicked, or was it just like you got on a roll and just kept rolling? Because to beat them that badly is really impressive.
Yeah, I mean, I think when Demi and I are playing well and executing well, we're a very, very good team. And this year, we're just kind of trying to figure out our game styles, figure out how to play with each other. And I think we're definitely getting some sights of that on the court, which is nice. And I think that one definitely clicked. I mean, I like to think we didn't really do anything special, but we played well. We executed well. We knew what we wanted to do and really stuck with that the whole time. There were times in the match, deuce points where it could have changed a bit, the momentum, but we got out of it. So I think we did a really good job staying pretty level and really just focusing on our court, being aggressive, playing aggressive tennis and getting forward.
Talk about your partnership. I know y'all played together last year in Tokyo, I believe. And then this year y'all have played every tournament together. How did the partnership kind of come about? And talk about what's worked so well so far.
Yeah, last year we randomly played.
And Demi, you can answer any of these too.
Oh, okay, I thought you were just talking to Asia.
We're going to leave Demi out for a bit.
I can totally just hold this, but the microphone. We played the first tournament of the year for us, second, Adelaide last year, and then we played our last tournament of the year, which was Tokyo, just randomly. Her partner was injured that week, and the partner I was playing with ended up going to Hobart, so she needed someone. Well, so did I, but yeah, she messaged, and I think we repaired maybe. Yeah. And then Tokyo, we started talking in Wuhan. Is that where we started talking maybe about this year? I don't know. We were trying to kind of figure out like, hey, what are your plans? She was talking to people. I was talking to people.
Sure.
We were just kind of like, yeah, what are your plans for next year? I feel like if you're talking to someone about playing doubles for the next year, you think your games are going to mesh well. So you don't really need to say that. It's kind of like not spoken about. But yeah, we were just like, hey, yeah, what are your plans for next year? Like, I'm looking, blah, 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 blah. And then we kind of just decided like, yeah, let's do it. Let's play.
Yeah.
I don't know. It wasn't anything really like.
Yeah. I feel like a lot of listeners
extravagant. I don't know.
Yeah, no. I feel like a lot of listeners think that y'all are choosing partners with some like crazy complex method or something, and a lot of times it's just like
no,
like you play deuce, I play ad, like
I mean, we didn't even really talk about that either. I don't know. Maybe we just kind of went rogue. Like we can play either sides, which we knew. So we were just kind of like, okay, we'll start with me on the deuce and Demi on the ad. For me, she's a very nice person. That's something I'd like. I don't want to play with someone who's kind of like, exactly. Not the nicest, because that will affect me. I can't play my best with that. She's chill. I'm a chill person. I need it. Like, it's fine to get, pumped and excited on court and stuff, but I can't have someone getting upset with misses and all of that. Like, that's just not my vibe, and I don't play my best with that, so I know that. So yeah, she is not those things, so that was already a good start.
Demi, what makes Asia a good partner?
I think first of all, what Asia just said, like person-wise, is for me maybe the most important. I need to be myself. Otherwise, I play maybe tired or I'm stressing out, and I don't want that. So that's something. Of course, I knew Asia already for a longer time. We are on the tour for a few years now. So I think personality-wise, it's something that really it's matching. It's chill, but we fight, we practice hard, we talk about things. Communication is good. That's all very important for me. And then tennis-wise, I think I like just to play very aggressive, and that's something we both do. We like to play forward. We like to play, come to the net, be active at the net, and that's something that fits my game. And I think that's something you saw in the last 2 matches as well. First round, second round, we're playing our game, and if it's going good, it's going really good. Let's say it that way. And then it's tough to beat us. So yeah, I think that's like a few important things for me. Why I wanted to play with Asia. We started in Australia. We're still like figuring out a few things especially on the court. And I think from Middle East on, we started to play better. We lost a few close matches, but the feeling was good. And then now I think we had 2 really good matches, and it's not over yet. So yeah, it gives a good feeling.
So just 2 more questions. I know you'll have to run to practice. So Demi, I want to hear your thoughts on we were just talking about mixed doubles. They're about to host a mixed tournament here at Indian Wells for the 2nd year. But I want to hear your thoughts on the U.S. Open mixed changes. What did you think when it came out? What do you think now? What would you like to see going forward for mixed doubles?
My first thought was like, oh shit, I probably don't have a chance to play that event because I'm not from the USA at the moment. I'm not top 10. So you need to be really lucky to get in. From the other side, I do understand the commercial side of it. Of course, if you have single players, top players playing, I know people are coming to watch. But for a doubles player, I think it hurts. Yeah. We want to play. Some players, maybe even in top 10, cannot play mixed doubles in US Open. I think that's ridiculous. We focus on doubles. We practice hard to get better in doubles. If you see actually here in Indian Wells how many people are so happy to watch doubles, it's busy. They just get very happy to see doubles, and they sometimes even like doubles better than singles, and I think that's really nice to see, and that gives us also a boost and a nice energy. But in general, for the mixed event in US Open, I think, yeah, it's a pity that you see it happen. You know, inside maybe it will happen in the future, but I didn't expect it happening so soon. And yeah, I hope it can change, and not the other events will not do the same.
Yeah.
But that's something we don't have in our hands. We try our best. We show good tennis, and I hope it will change. And they want to have doubles players instead of only single players.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I'm sure it'll continue to change and hopefully give you all more opportunities. Last question for you, Asia. So last year, you may not remember this, but we chatted downstairs actually, and you told me you were starting to focus on doubles, and you were going to kind of stop the singles side. And we were talking, and I said, you've got all the tools. Like, I feel like you can be a top 10 player. You're now in the top 10 a year later. You made it.
Yeah.
What have been kind of the biggest lessons you've learned focusing on doubles over the last year? And what do you think's led to this success in year 1?
Yeah, I mean, I definitely think just mentally it's been a lot easier. When I was juggling singles also, it was just a lot of things to think about schedule wise. You know, if I win this match, I can't make it to the next tournament. And it's just a lot of off court things where when you're trying to do the best in your job, you can't have a lot of distractions. And I feel like with me, it was distracting. And also I'm getting older. I kind of wanted to just make it easier. Doubles is definitely easier on the body, and you're going to be playing a lot of the nicer tournaments. Sometimes with singles, I would still have to go play some ITFs, which is, we like to say, a little more of a grind. You know, you're not staying at the nicest hotels, eating the best food, and even playing at the best sites like the tennis courts. So, and you know, I never focused on one. Like, I never focused on only singles or only doubles, and I didn't want to have to just go and play ITFs and get my ranking back up on the singles. So I was like, you know what, this is the time. Let me just focus on doubles. It's not that I know I can be a good, highly ranked player. So let's just put all the focus in that. And yeah, it paid off sooner than I thought, I guess. But yeah, it's exciting.
Awesome. Well, thank you all both a ton for joining me. I know this is a lot to ask while you're still in the tournament.
Yeah.
Have a good practice and good luck the rest of the tournament.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you for listening to this week's episode of the Doubles Only podcast. If you're interested in diving deeper into any topics I discuss, I've created doubles strategy products that allow me to bring you more podcasts and other doubles content without relying on paid ads. I have ebooks and courses that help you make better strategic decisions during matches and become the smartest player on the court. Go to thetennistribe.com/products to learn more. You can also join my free weekly doubles strategy newsletter that includes video lessons and more on our homepage. If you want to connect, you can find me on Instagram, Twitter, and Facebook, or email me directly, will@thetennistribe.com.